Yeah, it's time to get to the International Roundup with Barry Curtin. Been plenty happening, mate. Before we get to you, International Roundup, the Qantas Wallabies. 30 years they've had a sponsorship, and unfortunately with COVID, and we understand why, Qantas have had to pull the sponsorship on the Wallabies. It's just, COVID's really affecting everything, isn't it?
It's always been known as the
Qantas Wallabies. I haven't known it was anything else. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Right, mate. That's amazing, that one. Wow.
So I reckon internationally we're going to see more of it, no question. What have you got for us, mate?
Well, mate, we have to talk US Open. We have to talk that because we had a number of players in there. I think we had about 5 or 6 players.
Your favourite player, Bryson?
Bryson DeChambeau, yeah. I'd rather have a fork in my eye than watch him, to be honest.
Well, there seems to be a lot of flack. A lot of players don't like him. There's some suspicion about what's gone on around him.
Yeah, mate.
What is the dislike of him?
An incident a few rounds ago with a cameraman got me. That was the final straw for me, where he turned to the cameraman after he played a poor shot and said, "Don't film me, it is not good for my brand." So in other words, he's just played a bad shot. Don't film me when I play bad shots, because it's not good for my brand.
How does the cameraman know when he's going to play a good shot?
Well, exactly right.
So you should have said to him, well, let me know when you're going to play a good one, I'll film it.
Exactly right. But he's picked up 2.25 million, and it hasn't gone down all that well with golf officials, golf and players. It hasn't gone down that well. Mainly because what he's done over in the COVID break is he's built himself up. He looks like a big gorilla now. He's huge compared to what he was.
There's a question mark there.
He's a scientist of the game. He works all these theories out and all this sort of stuff. He uses one of those long putters that climbs up the arm, which is, to my opinion, I don't care what anyone says, illegal. Get rid of it. I just don't like the guy. I mean, look, he might be the nicest fella in the world, but I would rather watch paint dry than watch him play, because he bores the hell out of me. He's won 2.25. Good on him. He was 6 under, and I think the next best was level par.
Yep. So he was the only...
won by 6 shots.
So the 120th US Open. I looked up a couple of things. I knew you'd bring him up. So he's the only player under par in the final round.
Yeah.
He's only the 3rd player in the 6 times the US Open's been played at Winged Foot to come in under par.
Under par, yeah.
Out of 750 players. There's only 3 players that have done that.
Yeah.
So it can clearly play.
Oh, he can play, mate. No one's knocking the way that he can play. But what they're calling it is bomb and gouge. So he's the biggest hitter on tour. So he hits them, he don't care where they go.
So it's bash and go.
We don't care where they go. They can go in the rough a million miles away, but he's closer to the green than anyone else. So, and he's so strong that he can gouge it out of this rough, where other players struggle to gouge it out. Now, Rory McIlroy made a pretty good point. Rory said that he's done, he's doing something that no one else has thought of, and whatever. So they're all hinting at all this stuff and all that, but it's just not a popular victory. It's not, and the Aussies in the field. Our 3 big guns: Adam Scott, Cam Smith, Jason Day. We had players miss the cut, but they finished tied 38. They were never in the mix at all. Even from round 1, they were never in the mix. Lucas Herbert was our best placed player, tied 31st. He picked up 75 grand for his trouble. Those 3, Adam Scott, Cam Smith and Jason Day, all finished tied 38. Picked up 50 grand each.
Though, if I'm listening to what you're saying, and the US Open's the prestigious event.
Very, very prestigious.
But we talked about the FedEx leading into it.
Yeah.
Seems to me there's more money in the FedEx.
Yeah. Well,
so if you were just money orientated, you go, I'd rather win over here in the FedEx.
But the FedEx goes all season. Yeah. Then it finishes. Yeah. So the US Open is part of the wraparound.
That's
a new
season.
Yeah. It's a new season.
I understand that. So, the big money was in the FedEx, wasn't it?
Well,
the real big money.
He's picked up 2.2 for his. That's a big purse.
It's not too bad.
That's a very good one. Let's get off the golf, because Bryson does. As I say, I'd rather have a fork in my eye than watch him. Jack Miller. We talked a bit about Jack Miller in the MotoGP. I feel sorry for Jack, because Jack's such a good rider, and he's an Aussie boy who gets out there and really goes for it, and he's broken every bone in his body. He had to retire on the weekend in Italy because a visor, those tearaway visors that you see the riders, they just discard them, got caught in his engine. So one of the riders in front of him discards that. Now, the odds on that happening, Phil, at that speed and whatever.
Millions to 1. Millions to 1.
And bang, he's out. He's just out of it. He's gone. So, Jack, no luck there. Richie Porty, now you've got to give this guy a bit of credit, mate.
35 years old, mate.
You've got to give him some credit.
So a little bit of history on Richie, and I'm with you. You've got to give him some credit. He came in late to cycling. He actually started as a triathlete, and that's how he got in. He didn't start cycling until he was 25.
Yeah,
He didn't he didn't get his first pro contract until he was 25, which is pretty late.
Amazing story.
Yeah.
2:16.
Yep.
He got run over by a motorbike in the Tour de France. He's out.
Yep.
Right. 2:17. He crashed, broke his pelvis and collarbone. 2018, another crash.
Yep.
Collarbone, broken, whatever. So he's gone through all this.
Yep.
And finally, bang, he's on the podium.
Number
the
3.
second Aussie.
Yep.
The other Aussie, Cadell Evans.
Yes.
To get on the podium at the Tour de France. So, amazing story. Good on him for getting through, and because I kept thinking, well, Richie Porty's there, but he'll get hit by a flying fox or something on the hill climb. Because it keeps happening to him.
They say he's a ripping bloke. I don't know him.
I've seen him interviewed, and I can see that.
Yep. So they're saying after, of course, he's won it. So he's number 3 on the dice, mate. The biggest cycling event of the year, really.
Yeah.
Next day, he grabs a cab to go to the airport, so he's putting his bike in the boot. And he can't even organise a bus to take the bloke who's finished third
And
on the
you know where he's
podium.
going, don't you? To change nappies.
Yeah,
because he's had a baby in the first week. Well, he didn't have a baby, but Mrs. Porty did. In the first week of the tour.
It's not bad.
Mate, it's a great effort, and full marks to him, because that is just an unbelievable effort by him. And of course, he's a 2-time Tour Down Under winner.
Yep.
Richie Porty. So
he's a beauty.
He's a beauty, and good on him for.
And he's one of ours. He's an Aussie.
Yeah, good on him for getting third there. You know, that was an outstanding effort. And she's not Australian, but I've got to say, well done to Simona Halep.
Yes, of course we have it. We've adopted her.
We have.
Through Darren Cale,
Yes,
of course,
we
we've taken her under our second Aussie.
Yep. Didn't win it the way she'd want to win it, but because of the opponent pulling out. But she did win the first set 6-love, and she was up 1-love, I think, in the second. So great win there. And to the other guy, Novak Djokovic, who won it as well. Who won?
The Italian Open. You're not a fan, are you? You're just not a fan. You'd rather talk about Simona Halep, wouldn't we all? Hey, we need to get to a break. Back with more in a moment.